I was like, here envy. Let me find that in Revelation book. I don't think I read that one in there. So I've been in the sanctuary for about a year now. My life before I was here at the sanctuary was very, how do you say, it was very random. It was very, nothing was ever planned. And to be very honest, I didn't really have a really good relationship with God. I don't know. I had a really bad history with the churches before, like, because it was around COVID. So before that, I had a really bad experiences with one of my ex churches. So it was a bad way to start the COVID because it just left me broken and it left me like just not wanting to return to something else or be part of something else. I never knew anything else besides where I was born and raised. To be like separated and ripped from that and to go into COVID where I was with no one and it was just by myself with my thoughts and my room by myself, it was just very depressing because every day it was like what are you gonna do? Like you're not doing anything. I wouldn't pray as much. I would always get distracted. I would always try to find a substitute. It was just like a depression because I had never actually had a relationship with either real friends, whether it was from church or school, but mainly from church. At church, um, I didn't really have a real relationship with God. It was very fake. I was very depressed because through not even because of COVID. COVID was nothing, but it was more like after all I've done for this church, after I sacrificed myself, being able to serve and being willing to do whatever, and then them just, they really kicked me out of the curb. It really left me depressed because I was like, that was my whole, in a sense, the church made me feel like the church was my whole life. The pastor was the president. You had to serve. So that was all I knew. So when everything that I knew was ripped from me, it was like, what do I do now? It was really pretty depressing. My mom was always in church. My father was born a Catholic, but he was converted to Christian when he married my mom. But I was raised in a Christian church. It was a Hispanic Pentecostal church. It was very religious, very religious. You had to be perfect. If you weren't perfect and holy, then why were you there? So there was a lot of rules, a lot of things we couldn't do. We couldn't have beards. We couldn't have long hair. I could even wear Vans that I'm wearing now. You had to dress fancy shoes. You had to wear a suit and tie when you played. You had to speak a certain way. You always had to be saying yes to the pastor if he asked for something. There were so many rules, and to be honest, I didn't understand them. I just did them because it was all I knew. And I served that church literally from the beginning I was born. So I was there. I got baptized there too. So because I didn't really had a really good relationship with God, like I do remember in high school, I felt big time. I would ask God to forgive me every single day because every single day I would mess up. Every single day I would smoke with my friends, we would drink, and every single time I'd be like, God, like, I'm so sorry that I'm doing this. Forgive me for that. I don't know what I'm doing. And since I didn't have a good relationship with God, I never got out. I was stuck for a good minute. When COVID hit, I was so happy because it gave me a peace because I was separated from all the bad influences in my life. So it actually gave me a time to detox and just stop and think and be like, okay, I have a break. I've been doing bad stuff. My church just kicked me out. I could have easily gone back to drugs, and during that time I went back to it because I had nothing else to support me. I had nothing else to just keep my mind off of things. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy that I got friends that in this church that look out for me. They know what's best for me. They always want to see me get better. And I've never had that. I've never had that. When I had my friends and we used to do stupid stuff. I remember one time we got, in a sense, we're lit. We got so lit that I remember I woke up at 4 in the morning in my house, not even knowing what happened. And my friends I was with, they didn't care. They didn't see if I was okay. They didn't say, hey, you can't drive, let me drive. They just left me there. I could have easily died. Actually, my parents, you know how my parents found me? My parents found me trying to cross the street into traffic, trying to kill myself. And I don't even remember what happened. I don't even know that. So the fact that, like, I'm not even close to there, that I have friends here in this church that are like brothers and sisters to me now that I can trust and I can tell them whatever. I couldn't do this in my old church. So I ended up at the sanctuary by my brother. My brother goes to another church. and I would always tag along with him. He separated from my old church way before I did, so he got the freedom before I did. But I remember I would tag along with him all the time, just to go try to find another church. And low key, I was trying to find another church, so I would tag along wherever he would go to play. And I remember he was playing with one of the musicians that are actually here. And I remember he was like, hey, I'm going to go play at this church. And it's pretty cool. Like, you know, the guys are really cool. The pastor's really cool. He's actually really, really known person. My pastor in the church, since it was so judgmental, I low-key was judgmental too. I came in here and I looked at people wearing, you know, having tats. You know, people just not wearing masks too. I was still in that Corona vibe too. So I was very like, what's up with this place? This place is weird. This place is like, there's a bunch of weird people in here. Hey, like, I'm no one to judge. Like, honestly, I've gone through my fair struggle of stuff, and I'm gonna just give it a shot. But I just remember that first service, just going to worship. That was when it really touched me. And I was like, wow, there's so much freedom here. God just flows. He just moves in this place. In other places, God never moved. So it was like a refreshment to my soul. And I remember I was like, wow, I haven't felt this in a while. But I was still struggling low-key with the stuff from behind. So I was like, I was trying to connect. I was like, well, I don't know. But what cut all of that was the worship. Because I'm a musician, so that was the thing I could connect to the most. And the worship is what really helped me like settle down and be like, okay, let's take a new look at this, a new way of thinking, a new way of just seeing things. What God's done in my life since I've been here has been so much, so much. From getting better at handling my old problems, addictions. In my old church, I remember I would just go to church and I'd be like, forgive me, and go back and I'll still mess up. Here, I felt like every time I came, I got more and more strength to say, I shouldn't be doing that anymore. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm better without it. So I remember coming here was literally giving me more strength to fight back my battles. And even when I did leave, and of course I'm human, I've failed, but it hurt more failing when I was here because I knew what I was doing now. Over there, it was like, you had to be perfect. I have to start all over again. You thought you were the worst person ever, but here, no, it was like every single time I was getting more strength. Every single time I came back, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm getting better. It's a slow process, but compared to what I was before, I'm 100% getting better. I want to get better at it. I don't think there's ever a time where you can ever say, like, I think I'm good with Jesus. It's like every day it's a process. Every day it's a new battle you're fighting. I try to do my best, try to read the word when I can, even when I'm busy, even when I'm tired. I know when I pray, I just know I'm going to get a good rest of that night. So I just know that I always try to talk with God, whether it's driving, whether it's even going to be before I'm eat, when I'm working, even when I'm worshiping. I'm always trying to communicate and just talk with him because I need him. I can't live without him. I know if I were to stop talking to him or even stop doing some of the routines that I do with him, I know I would go right back to where I was. So I knew God. I read the Bible a lot. I used to be a teacher for all ages, from kinder to literally high school and adults. I used to preach in my old church. So I knew God. I knew the Word. I knew a lot of things about him. I knew the Holy Spirit. I knew Jesus. But what I didn't know was his touch. He switches his yoke for yours. I never felt that before. I never felt his presence that extreme. Here, it was effortless. It was like you feel it the moment you walk in. You feel it the moment the people are starting praying. You feel it. You feel it when the people are even just starting to get up for the service. So, I never felt God's touch. I never felt his presence. I never felt it that much before. And even then, every service, I feel it getting more and more, and I still don't understand it, and that's what I love about it. I want more of that. The relationships I have here are legit. They're true. They're real. I remember I used to complain. I'd be like, I want friends my own age. But I was like, they weren't real. And it didn't matter what age, from old to young here, they're all real. Even I was in Central America, they're still texting me, hey bro, how are you? I miss you. Hey, we can't wait to have you back. And I never got that before. Not even from my schools, not even from my friends to ask me for homework. I didn't even get messages from that. I felt so loved. I felt so appreciated. I felt like I was cared, like someone cared for me. I felt real. And that's what brought me this place. This is what made me want to come even more. I wanted more real friends because I knew that I'm 19, so I've low-key, for 19 years, I didn't have real friends. So it was like cool. I'm getting to interact with people again. I get to learn new things. I'm getting to meet new people. I'm getting to feel like I'm starting to learn how it feels to be in a family. In Spanish, we always say hermano, hermana, Dios te bendiga, hermano, Dios te bendiga, hermana. God bless you, brother. God bless you, sister. I was even an usher or a deacon back then. I was like, God bless you, brother. God bless you, brother. It was just a saying. Here, when you say it, it's hard to say, God bless you, brother, and not get a hug and a handshake. You get it. It's like a whole complete package. Wow, I love being part of a family. I love being with real friends. If I had, and I know for a fact, if I was going through something right now, I know the top people I can go to right now and talk to, and they wouldn't judge me. If anything, they would help me. They will build me back up. Just like the Bible says, if one is down, the brothers I'm picking back up. I never experienced that verse in real life. I get here at 7 in the morning, and there's already brothers going like, all right, let's get it. They're fired up. They're already praying. I always hear the prayer room just going off, and I'm like, wow, they're literally opening the floodgates of heaven over this church. I literally know that there's just a portal of heaven opening over church. It's getting bigger, and more flood and water is just pouring down on this place. Because from the moment that I got here, it has never gone down. It's just fire. There's more fire every time, and you can feel it with the people. And the people know it too. It's going to get better and bigger and better, greater in every aspect.